with a schedule that has been absolutely almost flawless 5 days a week, over an hour a day, every day. And then on another channel streaming on this app and doing all this, they want to basically shut it down. So, well, they can't shut me down from using the smartphone. I mean, so worst case scenario, we take what we've built here over there. And we keep doing our smartphone production here. I've been through a lot in this life. You know? I've been beat to death with bricks. I grew up in a household that was so thick in toxicity that I've seen scenes of my mother dumping scalding water down my father's back. I've seen my father put windshields out of his truck. And at every step of the way, all I ever wanted to do was make music. And I made music when I was out in the garage. Because our house was so small, we couldn't fit a piano in the house. And they got a piano somebody was giving away, and we had it in the garage. So I played in the garage. There's a kerosene heater out there. 15 degrees in January, and I would play 4 hours a day. Even when it took 2 hours for the room to get up to 65 degrees with the kerosene heater. I don't know that I have ever known. I don't know if you just got here, Lisa, but they're taking our stream key away. I don't know if you have ever, if I have ever known a period in my life where my back wasn't to the wall in some way, shape, or form. It's not gonna knock me out. I'm not gonna be silenced by an app that is probably gonna be out of here in the New York Minute anyway. Hey, Al. So if you're wondering what everybody's talking about, TikTok has sent a notification to the agency that they are revoking my stream key due to violation of terms of service that I didn't live up to the standards set forth by this app. So after all this work now, and after everything that I put into this, trying to bring this positive energy here, they're pulling the plug. And it doesn't really come as a surprise. Between this suppression and the shadow banning that this account has been battered with for the beginning, and they know I own the new account. They know it's me, so it's no surprise that they're banning me there too. It's just crazy. I don't know what to take out of it. Apparently, the only thing that excuse that they have is apparently, and this is news to me, they want people with stream keys streaming at a minimum of 15 hours a week and 60 hours a month, which Golden Hour doesn't quite achieve 15 hours a week. It's more close to about 11 to 12. So I've been falling just shy of that 15 hours a week, but the agency's appealing this decision to them, and I know they're going to fight really hard for us. But I don't think it's going to get very far because I think there's things going on here with this account that they're not revealing. Something here has happened that they are really not somebody in that decision-making tent. You know, they have thousands of employees in that company, and they have dedicated staff just to live streaming. Has made it a mission to pull the plug. So thank you, Thirsty Al. I appreciate that. Well, you know, everything that I've learned to do here is really a great thing, and who knows? Maybe it's not over yet. Maybe they'll get their. Maybe they will get their appeal through. I don't care. Now I'm done. I've had it. Now, you know, I'm not gonna look. It's one I will take a lot. I take criticism. I take askew points of view and things like this over the course of my career and everything else. And I've had to deal with obstinate people that get in my way too sometimes. I've had this happen multiple times in my past where somebody, which in a sphere of business that I had absolutely nothing to do, just did not like my presence doing what I'm doing and tried their best to get in the way and make it go away. A lot of times there's different reasons why these things can happen psychologically, whatever it is. And I've learned, the problem with this situation is I'm 51 now, and I've been through it so much that I know how to spot it. And I have been spotting it here for a long time, but it was to the point where I was happy to continue on because I'm serving this community here. That's my principal role here. You know, I was planning on coming in on here tonight and telling you that I'm building a Discord server for all of you, and I want to give you an opportunity to really, for those of you who say that my music has really changed your life and that you find inspiration here that you don't find in any other way anywhere else, and it makes you want to try to do things, and it makes you want to get up on your feet and things like this. Well, people bring me that kind of feedback that makes me think, what more can I do? I'm not doing enough. So this Discord server is a way for people to really share in what I do, and also build an accountability system. So I start building some deadlines into my system of production here that I would usually be getting from a film producer or a director. We're going to have an agreement with this community that I'm going to start setting deadlines. I'm going to start hitting them the same way I would if we were doing a film project. And I thought this was a great way to do this on this Discord server, because you can actually see every piece of music I'm working on there if I go down that road of giving you that access. Is that something you would think is interesting? Would you like to see all the tracks that I'm working on and all these little segments that we do at Golden Hour where I extract some of the juice from this show, throw it into a project and look at it and say, let's do this, let's take that away. Because there's a difference between 100% improvisation, spontaneity, and what I do when I say, okay, let's look at this track now and let's decide what's the purpose here. What's the point of all this 23 minutes of music? And sometimes it's going to be the case that we take one little thing out of these things and create the entire thing around that. You know, that's the difference between improvisation and music composition. Crafting what do you want to call it, a work of art or something like that. Improvisation and spontaneity is absolutely important, foundational. But we've been doing a lot of that, and I want to start to push into the realm of releasing tracks a little bit harder now. And this is the way to do this. So I will finish up figuring out how to get the Discord invitations out to everybody tomorrow, and tonight I'll work on it too, because obviously we're under an emergency status. I mean, they're not taking my TikTok account away. I can still go live, at least I think I can, from a smartphone. So that's what they've always wanted me to do anyways. They don't want me with a stream key, you know. So I mean, you know, look, it would be easy to say, that's it, I'm done. I'm shutting down the account and I'm moving over to the other site. That's it. But at the end of the day, what does that really accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Except, what, to flex a little bit of egotism that I will not be treated this way. No, I won't be treated this way. Yes, I will be treated this way. It's not a question of what they do. It's a question of what I do. And how I do it is just as important as what I do. When I focus on stream key being taken or whatever else and this kind of thing, and this is grossly unfair, now I'm focused on why. No good. No good. It's what and it's how. This is where I solve my problems. This is where I draw my line in the sand. You know? This is where I stand. Make my stand. So, Julia's coming along really well, by the way. I set up the microphones, started working on the microphone placement. I'm waiting for a device that will allow those microphones to connect to the smartphone. So although TikTok might take my stream key away, they won't be able to take away me pumping that fresh audio into the smartphone so that you can actually get a good performance out of Julia instead of listening through smartphone devices. Oh, thank you, Deneen. I'm glad she did. Well, you know what? I was using a iPad microphone. So it's probably a little bit better microphone quality than a phone. That said, you have no idea the difference you're going to hear when you get to hear the microphones. Oh, it's going to be like night and day. Whew, man, I tell you, what a kick in the gut. On now. look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This silliness here. This people have no idea what they're up against. What, maybe 50 hours of deep hypnosis therapy training with a renowned psychologist. Hundreds of hours of principal private study with some of the best mentalist life coaches on the planet. You know, pick the wrong candidate to whatever it is, you know. And truthfully, this isn't a question. Yeah, on that planet, Hall. And you know, this is nothing between me and this app. This app doesn't care. I'm irrelevant. It's nothing. Me here, there, wherever. Go. Want to go over there? Go over there. They don't care. You know what I mean? It's just there's a bunch of loser policies in place here that are not meant for certain vehicles to drive down this lane. There's not, you know, I have to start looking at this and start wondering, you know, I don't think I'm too good for anything, ever. That's not it. But it's okay to be not right for something. And maybe reality is just I'm not right for whatever. You know. I'm thinking about creating a piece of content about this. TikTok will suppress it, and that means it's going to need your help promoting it. Hi there. If you're new to the chat room, my name's Jace, and this is Golden Hour. You might be seeing some bustling in the chat room about some bad news we received that TikTok is revoking my stream key. There's some archaic information here that's just not making any kind of sense about why they're doing this, and I'm kind of want to speak to the agency, because if there was some mandate in there that I needed to be streaming for 20 hours a week, why did they not make this known to me? So there's that. I'm kind of wondering, did they know this? Did they know that there was a mandate? Did I had to be streaming for 20 hours a week? Because I didn't. And I would expect that that's something I would need to know. 15 or 20 or something like that. They want 2 hours a day or something, it's mixed up, jumbled information, and everybody's upset, and I don't know if they're getting it across the right way. So I'm talking about the agency, not you. So, they're not taking away my live access. I can still go live. I can still do things with Julia. There just won't be this thing that we've created here. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'm sure the answers will come. I should probably create an email in my bio the way other creators do, so that people can contact TikTok on my behalf and express their outrage. Problem is we're such a small community, it's not going to carry much weight to them. We've never had one community guidelines violation here. Hi there, Astro Poet. They're taking our stream key away. They say I'm not streaming enough. I have to be streaming more than I am, I think, is they're going to be their argument for this. No one told me that I had to be streaming 15 or 20 hours a week or whatever it is. So the agency is appealing it. I don't think that they're going to budge on it. And then that will shut this down for 60 days at a minimum. Then I would have to reapply, and they would probably reject it, and da-da-da-da-da. So something very unfair, grossly unfair, is happening here, and that's the story. The wrong way to think about this would be for me to start thinking about all the time that I've put into this and feeling like, they're tearing down something that I've built or whatever else. They can't take away all this things that I've learned to do and this technology that I've integrated into one system to do all this. There's a reason you don't see any other creator on this app doing this, and it's because 99.9 of them can't. This requires a level of ancillary ability to put this stuff together and play concert grand piano at the same time. Yeah, let me see somebody try. So I know that's a little bit bold. I should watch my manners a little bit, but I'm not really in the mood to be too beating around the bush about these things right now. So one of the worst positions you can be in this life is when you have a great value in the wrong place. Sometimes timing is bad too. Great value, wrong timing. Great value, wrong place. Well, it's not the wrong place for you because I found you here. That much of this is correct. And I can still probably continue to grow a community on here from Julia and, move this to a platform that is better suited to professional creators. Not somebody picking their nose and flicking it in a contest to see how far it can go. I mean, it's literally that's half of this stuff on this app. So, that's just how it is. So this is beyond upsetting. Well, if I can weather it to be done to me, you can weather it to not let it get to you. Maggie, this is called Untitled. The link tree in my bio has a link to my music, and you can listen to it there. Let's make sure that we hold on to the facts of the situation. I'm not being banned from TikTok yet. everything's going to be all right, because it will be. Yes, the idea of doing a tour sounds lovely. I would love to do a tour, and I think building our following is kind of necessary for that to manifest in a couple of different ways. Although, if we could find a gathering point where many of us could come together in one place, that's of course a different scenario for a one-off occasion. That'd be lovely. I would love to do something like that for y'all. I'm up to all kinds of wonderful ideas. The tour builds the following. Not when there's no one there, Lisa. I know what you're saying. Tours in bands and things like that, when they travel and they play around at bars and things like that, and they're building up, that kind of I guess it's that kind of a promotional strategy, but we're a little bit different than that kind of stuff, and I think most of the people who would want to see something like this would want to be there to see it for solely that reason. Don't you think? So just as like many of you would love to come see me if I'm available to be seen, and I see this, and I love you for that, and thank you, Lisa. It's such a wonderful idea, and really uplifting to think that many of you would like to travel to see me. This is why I'm here. What can I say other than I am here for you? No bars, big venues. Yes, okay. You can be my booking agent. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. That's wonderful. uh, this is a lot to process. I feel like I've been jumped. I feel like I felt when I got beat up. I feel like I get hit with a couple of bricks, and that's not the right psychology to put behind this. It's just conjuring up past trauma is what this is doing. It's linked to past trauma because it's causing me pain. That's what's happening here. My brain is doing its best to try to understand the wiring here. So it's using past traumatic events as a means of making this come into clearer focus in the now in an effort to understand. But the message is unclear. And the important part here is to not misread brain impulses. Pain is the fruit of the ask. To answer your question, Lisa, not an updated one right now. To me, what I'm focused on right now, my main, like if you used to ask me, Jace, what do you think is the most important thing that you could possibly do? Release music. I need to release music every week. Release music every week. But when I say release music, I mean release it. This is the concept. This is the story. This is what created it. This is the artwork. This is the thing. This is the music. This is the fully mastered, completely produced. We don't live in an era of albums anymore. You collect your music into albums. Yes, you can collect songs into albums and promote them as such if that's what you want to do. But people want to see massive, prolific greatness. They want to see someone do things that they think is impossible. And for whatever reason, I feel like I've been charged with this mission to do this. You know, I really, I don't know why. I think one of the things here is that I am so incredibly prolific. You know, I have literally, you know, so much music that it is just beyond reason how much there actually is. Just bear with me for a second here. Stand by for 1 second. Of course, it wants me to log in. It's been the story of my life today. Passwords. And it wants to go full screen. My goodness gracious. If I can get this to cut. Here we go. So I just want you to look at this for a second. When I tell you there's a lot of music being created here, it's no pretend event. See this column here called sketchbook? See there with a piano glowing right here? Watch when I scroll down this list of just how much. I'm going to move it over here so it's in the center of your screen now. Okay, each one of those cards is a piece of music. See that? Now they're in various stages of creation. There's so many it's having trouble updating. Okay, we're at C now, by the way. All right? Now we're at D. Now we're at F. Okay? And these things, this is not like 750 versions of Thadet. Each one of these is a completely original thing. Now, some of them are tiny. Some of these things are fragments. Some of these things are not that big. Okay, so let's say maybe 100 of them are like that. But when you see those colored bars across there, that's what's going on here. Now, when I scroll over this way, you see we have discover, draft, done, which done means the decision to release it is done, not the music itself is done. We move over to release. The problem is this column is too small. That's everything in there. That's not enough. Every release is another chance for someone to share in this story. Every release is a chance for someone to discover this music. Every time we release something, it sends a message out there to the universe that this is here, you know? So, Ciao Bella, I'm creating the Discord right now, and I'm going to move some of these tracks that I have selected to move into rotation for actual production, and some of these splurges as well. So you're all going to learn, those of you who want to participate in this, you're going to learn my creative my creative practice here, because what happens is we have these things called these splurges, which Golden Hour does a lot of that. And see this list here? It keeps getting bigger and bigger. And what happens there is I decide, is there something there or not? Is there something there that I want to build on or no? You know, if no, it goes into the sketchbook and it just kind of sits quietly. But if it is, there's a fragment in there, that becomes a bookmark, and then it moves on to discovery and draft. So the reason I have this organizational system is because it was taught to me by a mentalist who helped me tap into my potential, my creative potential. You know, so this is what's happening right now. And I feel obligated to start setting deadlines and start getting this music out here. And I think, you know, I have to behave as though this is, you know, a kind of an emergency. Immediate action here on this. You know, a pilot doesn't wait to turn to establish emergency protocols when an emergency 20 minutes after an emergency starts. You know, and the emergency isn't TikTok. The emergency is this. It's time. You know, it's time. It's time for me to show you what I can actually do. Yeah, they'll keep the corn. That's for sure, Heather. Wow. How about the message coming right in the middle of this live, too? I guess that was supposed to be that way. I mean, I could have waited to see. I could have waited to see what this is, but, you know, I find myself a little bit miffed here with why I wasn't given the information about these minimums, these weekly minimums, hourly minimums. I mean, I've struggled to give this app every one of its demands, save not turning this into a shit show. That's the one thing that I wouldn't do. You know? So I don't know. I mean, you got creators on this app trying to have literal divisive battles between two segments of this population in this country that are both hell-bent on wiping the other out, and try to bring some peace into this world on this app, and supposedly that's what they want, and this is what they do. Yeah, well, I don't know how to make garbage. I don't know how to make crap. So I'll leave that to the hands of other people. We got this. Yes, we'll figure this out just like we figure out most everything together. Just like we always do. Let's see here. I mean, TikTok has been absolutely throttling the chat room here and throttling the chat room on the new account. They throttle the chat room whether I'm using the stream key or not. You know what I mean? If I'm out on a beach walking Hank, I can get 150 people in a chat room. But if I'm making music, they strictly limit it down to 25 to 30 people in the chat room, except for these freak occurrences when they put us out on national streams. Which to me, I almost at this point have to chalk that up as some sort of mistake, because this is not a foolproof system. It makes erroneous choices sometimes. So I don't know. But I went over to a competing platform, and I had 100 views in 15 minutes. I think maybe it's just the answer is to continue onward. If we'll see what happens here with this stream key, but if I do believe it's gonna be gone. That being said, we can still do things with Julia from the iPad during this time, same time. We'll keep our time going for now, but this concept needs to have a home that I've created here, and it needs to grow. And that's best probably going to be done somewhere else. I mean, it's going to have to be. So that's how that goes. What's that? What is this? What is this solution? Andrea, I'm kind of wondering why didn't I know that there was a 20-hour-a-week minimum or something like this? The only thing I was told was that my shows should always be longer than an hour, and that if I go longer than a week without going live, they revoke the key. Because you have a Mac? Excuse me? You talking about a computer? FTTV, Andrea, is there someplace my squad can email I'd like them to email this person who you're having this discussion with at TikTok so that they get a nice 30 or 40 emails from this crew here by morning. And this needs a little bit of extra. If they need to know that this is needed, if TikTok needs to know why this is needed, these are the people to tell TikTok why. Not me, not you. Love and Feeling will tell them why. Quit D'ing Around will tell them why. Another Jenny will tell them why. Colomex will tell them why. Liz will tell them why. Okay? Dawn Marie will tell them why. Deneen, who has sponsored this show to the point of being able to get Julia ready for production, she'll tell them why. Okay? These are the people who will tell them why. Charlotte will tell them why. Sharon will tell them why. You know, this is not something where we should move in the dark on this, where I say to them, well, I build a community, and it's, they can literally, yeah, that. They can that. I am not gonna kiss anybody's rear end here over there in that company on this. I've worked way too hard on this, and I mean, there's so many other places to go. We've been too dedicated here to go quietly into the night without giving people a piece of our mind. So if they need to know, these are the people to tell them. Let's have an email address, please. Let's have an email address to this cat or whatever her name is from TikTok. Moderators, can you see who is in this chat room right now? Is there any way you see a list? Is FTTV in here right now? Is FTTV or Andrea in here right now? Let's see here. Andrea and Kaz. I'm going to send them a message right now. Sorry about all this drama, folks. Hey guys, I'm on the live right now in front of the chat room, so since this is going down this way, I'm just going to continue to communicate as we are. We need the email address of this person from TikTok who is responsible for making this decision. If TikTok needs to understand what we're doing here or why this is needed, then I've got 40 people here right now that'll say it better than you, me, or all three of us put together. We need an email address, and I will put out the vibe to the community here to be nice and not express the hostility that many people here really feel. I want to take a minute here and remind you that this isn't about me. I have people here that are suffering from post-traumatic stress, various kinds of challenges. I have people who are looking for inspiration at a time that is filled with people on this app that would literally suck it away, And these are the people that this is about. This app wants to remind everybody on a thrice daily basis with BS advertisement that TikTok is a place for love and community. If that's the case, is it too much to ask them to stand up behind their own words? They need to hear from these people. You're seeing how I do business now. You want to be behind the scenes. Well, here you are. You're behind the scenes now. Everybody be cool. It's all good. Remember who our allies are here. Let me try to call him right now. Stand by, everybody. Let's start with Andrea here. Hey, okay, I'm listening to you. Okay. 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 So why don't we? I'm in front of my community right now. They're watching me have this conversation with you. So they've been a part. Oh, that's fine. They love you. Okay. So look, if these people need to understand, if they need to understand what we're doing here and why this is happening or why this needs to happen, I've got 40 people that want to tell them right now. Let's get an email address. Let's. Hello, Andrea. Can you hear me? So my community is in front of me right now. They can tell TikTok way better than you or I can what this show means to them and what this live means to them. These are the most passionate people on this app. These are people, many of just listen, many of these people have been here for 60 hours over 60 days. 60 hours over 60 days. And they're in the room right now. These are the people that are on fire for what we are doing. You know, you should see this chat room right now. It's literally burning. Well, that's a yeah. So what Andrea is saying right now is that if we did a public campaign shaming them for this, it would have a really powerful effect. And Andrea's just kicking out ideas, and she's saying if people made a video and we combined that and uploaded that into a piece of content or something. The only thing is the only thing I'm worried about there, Andrea, is that it takes a lot of coordination to get these people. A lot of these people in my chat room are not content creator types. You know what I mean? These are email writer types, or they're you know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, can we get someone that they can email to? Okay. You know, because I think them having access to being able to let the person know how they feel is probably, what I'm saying is this: if we make a bunch of videos and we post that and like all this kind of stuff, it's almost like we're running around our backside to chase our tail. Whereas when 40 people hit send on an email, somebody sees that and all they want to say is this is to them this is the best thing that happens on this app. You know? Oh, you know that won't go anywhere, honey. That doesn't do anything. That's a waste of their time. I wouldn't even ask them to do that. It doesn't work for me, so it's not going to work for them. You know. Let me talk to Kaz about this. Is he around? Is he available? Okay. Let me get him and then I'll get back to you on this, okay? All right, bye. And she's afraid to give out the email address. I understand. That's to be expected. I kind of there's limits here to people have to operate within their limitations of what they can do. Stand by. Let me think here for a second. Sorry about this, guys. Here we go. Wow, that was hard enough, wasn't it? Here we go. Yes, they're all on our side. This is our team here, guys. Don't be angry with FTTV. They're more angry about this than you are. There's limitations to what everybody can do, and everybody's got to fly in a formation that doesn't damage their business and everything else. This is tricky. It's a tricky situation. Kaz, is that you? Hey, my friend. Hey, listen, I'm actually on a live stream right now, and I just wanted to say that this community, they're watching this whole thing go down. If we need to get a message over to the right people of what this community means to these folks and what it's doing here and what we're trying to do, these are the people to tell the story. They'll tell whoever needs to hear it better than you or I could. But who could we contact to let them know? Okay. Well, I want to give you as much backup as you have, as you can get. I'm trying to arm you. You know what I mean? And I've explained to this community here, and I've said it. They're here because they care. These people actually that are really busted up about this, and I hate to see this stressing them out like this. But I think that they understand that you guys do nothing but help, and you've never done anything but help, and you're helping right now. And I just want to give you as much armament as you can have. Oh, I'm sure I'm not the only one. How many did you get hit with? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Andrea, that's what he's seeing right now. This list is growing every day. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry that they're doing this to you and everybody. I mean, this whole community must be in absolute burning right now with anger and frustration. Okay, well, look, let me let you off of here because I'm in a public eye right now, and I'll call you back after I get off of this live. And my community really appreciates you. They're expressing their solidarity. Oh, all right. I'll tell them that. I'll tell them that. If I thought and I knew that, that's why I called you. You know what I mean? That's why I knew that. That's why you and I have always been so far above board. There's not even a board anymore. You know what I mean? So, all right, okay. Well, look, this is good news. All right, I'll pass this along, and I appreciate you. And look, this community will be joining me again this week, and they are ready to advocate. All you have to do is ask, charge. All you have to do is say charge. And you know what? These are sensible people. These are sensible people too. They're not going to freak out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll get. She mentioned that. I'm going to get her everything she needs. Everything she needs, right away. Right away. Thank you, Kaz. Kaz, hey, listen, I appreciate it. I know this is a little weird me doing this on the live here, but this happened so fast that I just, this is what it is. You know what I mean? So, all right, I appreciate you as always. All righty, buddy. All right, bye bye. So, Andrea, he's reflecting the same thing that you're saying, that this list is growing by the day. So, as angry as you all might be and as frustrating as this might be, okay, this is a situation. It is what it is. I'm not the only one this is happening to. So, kudos on not internalizing this too much. Although I've been felt like a hot target on here for a while, that it's been more than just a little bit frustrating. So it's easy to internalize things like this, right? But it is what it is. And yeah, Andrea says, yeah, I know. Andrea is okay. So Andrea has spent more than a few hours on the phone with me, talking about this, talking me through this, everything that's happened here. So, like I said, FTTV is the reason. If we remain on here, they're going to be the reason why we're here, because they're fighting for it. So, Kaz seems pretty confident that this thing is going to go away. That was his take on the phone. He's feeling very confident that we are going to get around this. So he's actually given, and with the help of Andrea here, they've given me a couple of actionable things to do here that will help them make their case to their contact at TikTok. And then we'll be back together this week. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, one way or another. So when does this supposed stream key ban go into effect, Andrea? When does this thing supposedly kick in? We just got to stay strong but positive and support one another. Like you, Linda. Tomorrow. Okay, so I may be. We'll see what happens. I'll get you the information tonight that you need, Andrea. I'm going to call you as soon as I come off of this live, but I'm going to end with music tonight. I'm going to call you as soon as I get off of this live, and we'll get straight on all that stuff. I mean, that's all, from what I'm understanding, you need. This is going to take all of about 5 minutes. So that's no problemo. And then if Kaz needs more from us, he's going to ask the community here what we need to do. You know what I mean? He'll tell us. I mean, he'll tell us. And Andrea will tell us what we need to do. All right, so go FTTV. Thank you so much. I'm in bed. Are you feeling better, Andrea? Are you feeling recovered yet? Andrea had a little surgical. Are you feeling better, dear? I hope so. You pulled a stitch. Oh, no. Sounds like you better get into the doctor. You need to go to the emergency room, girl. All right. Here's to hope. The sun always rises. Hi there, Linda. You have a wonderful night. Paul says hope. Let's all send Hall some love. It's good to see you, Hall. I'm glad you're here. It's never the same around here without you. Yes, it has, Deneen, and I'm very sorry. I hope that I showed my character tonight, and it was found to be appealing in some way. Jeff Oster. The sun always rises. Let me tell you what's going through Jeff Oster's head right now. He's looking around this chat room, and he keeps saying, JACE VEK fam, JACE VEK fam, JACE VEK fam. And he's wondering to himself, what is going on here? Well, right now you're on our bus, Hall. We can share your struggle for a little bit. Because we are a fam.
Jeff's theme from Saturn Calling. Thank you, Pauline. We're dealing with some drama here tonight, Jeff. TikTok's trying to take my stream key away. And there's this crazy new move that TikTok is doing. It's coming down on creators for a whole bunch of different things, and they're just banning people with stream keys. So my agency's working on my behalf, and they're telling me we're going to get through this. Meanwhile, my community is very stirred. Very stirred. And if this doesn't go down the right lane, you're going to see a tremendous amount of content being made on this subject. So they basically have 24 hours to figure it out. It's about where it stands right now. So I want to take a second and apologize where I can to this community for this event happening this evening the way it did. This news coming in this way, but then I temper myself by saying, things happen for a reason, and it's probably better that this happened this way. As a matter of fact, it's probably best that this happened this way. Seeing you respond the way that you have to this news, and at one point we had 40 plus people in the chat room here that were expressing their zealot support to shake the earth where necessary here on this subject, if that's what it's going to take to be heard on this subject regarding this show and what it means to everybody. And thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that. So, Deneen, thank you so much for your wonderful support tonight. Well, Lawrence, and not want to jump past Charlotte there. Charlotte, thank you so much for everything tonight. You were kind and loving and supportive, and once again reminding everybody why you're here. You're a real blessing to this group. Lawrence states a very painfully honest statement. Everything happens for a reason, and Lawrence, I have endured where other people would not. I have pushed through to this place that we're at right now, and sometimes I had to go straight uphill to do it, and it's been a real story. But the point here I want to make to you is that I think we've all reached the point where we're ready for whatever comes. If it means that, this stops here and we move to Julia here and do some shows with Julia live, and we take this, what you see here, to another part of town on this thing called the World Wide Web, so be it. We have all of this incredible experience here building this show. We have all this incredible scenery. We have all this very well choreographed build of a situation here that didn't just happen overnight. Every one of these things that we do takes a minute, And when you were playing, that took a minute for me to learn how to do that. Running camera scenes and moving like this and creating music on the fly and literally staying and being able to stay in the moment of this creative process and this creative practice, being able to stay. It's one thing to sit here and go like this. It's another thing to go like this. It's another thing altogether to do all this stuff and leave the earth and get in the zone and really, because you can't sell that to people if it's not real. People know. They know when what they're seeing is not some contrived thing. And at least these people know. Let me get this right. Our people know it. Our people know it. You know, there are people on this app making content where they stage this whole situation in the content. Yeah, I was playing the piano in the mall, and 6 people with instruments showed up, and then this happened. And you can tell they planned this whole thing, right? And it's this 6-person, like a classical piece of music, and violinist, and double bow player, and a cello player, and an oboe player, and everything else. And they're trying to act like this just accidentally happened. This is, what we call reality TV contrived production that got really hot in the late 90s and the early 2000s with reality TV. There's nothing real about it. Sure, it's talented people, and sure, they're playing, and sure, it's fantastic to watch people play no matter what the scenario is. And God bless them, that's great. But 6 people didn't randomly run into each other in a mall and suddenly start playing Schumann's octet in C sharp major. It's not how. That's not how reality works. So it's gimmicky. This is what I'm saying here, Lisa. Thank you, Chabella. It's so incredibly gimmicky, and there's a lot of stuff around here that is incredibly gimmicky. Here's the premise in which this show operates. I come in here at 6:00 in the evening, and I sit down right here, and I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. And some nights are better than others. Sometimes we have a night, where it's a kind of a fire night, where I have a feeling that this night was kind of one of those nights. And, talking about a couple more things here before I go, because it feels good to talk to you all. And if you need to leave, I totally understand. I won't be offended. It's late wherever some of you are. I'll tell you good night, and I'll thank you, and see you tomorrow, hopefully, at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? But for those of you who stick around, troubled times can bring people together closer. And, however way I want to look at this, I am charged with the responsibility for protecting what I've built here. And I'm talking about what we've built. You coming to this show like you do, and whether it's Hall or whether it's one of my wonderful moderators that are here this evening, or it's Jennifer, or it's Colomex, or now Steve, a new friend who has decided to make this a part of what's going on. Why wake up and don't have a clue what's going to happen? Well, that's, the reality behind this show. But, you all coming here and doing this and taking part in this is why it's happening. There have been times where, I have had my back up against the wall because of some of the policies of this app. I don't know that I'd necessarily be here if there was 2 or 3 people in the chat room. Instead, I'm waking up to as many messages as I can barely handle without having to delay in responding in some of them, to people who are telling me about their lives, the effect this music has, what it means to them, that they've picked up their instruments again, that they've started writing again, that they've started thinking about going back to school, that they come here and watch how I handle things, and they really, because they get to see that this started from nothing, I guess that has meaning right now in this world. I guess there's a lot of people who want to be content creators, and there's a lot of people more successful at it than I am. If you rate success on how many people filter through a chat room in one night. But this place is built on a principle. This is a fam. This is a community. It's a circle of friends and interested people. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get between whatever trouble comes our way in its interruption of this stream. I mean, Lawrence says everything happens for a reason. You want to see a perfect example of that? There's 6'3" of reasons back there, and its name is Julia. See that? 88 keys and 3 feet, 3 legs, and a lid. Think of everything that had to happen for that piano to land in that room there. And the whole reason I got that piano 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when I got it, was because I saw the need for us to go live direct to a smartphone. I know we need to be able to compete on that level. Well, I didn't know our stream key was going to get yanked from us. Talk about everything happening for a reason. Well, here we are, positioned with exactly what we need at exactly the right time to deal with exactly this situation. Come on. I mean, let's be serious here. I bumped into that in an estate sale 3 weeks ago, and I made him an offer that anybody could refuse. Okay? And then when it needed repairs, when Julia needed some help, when she needed microphones, guess who showed up? Golden Hour. Golden Hour is what enabled her purchase in the first place. Golden Hour paid the $500 purchase. Golden Hour paid the $700 moving expenses. $500 worth of microphones, $250 worth of periphery, $350 worth of piano tech maintenance. And then the piano tech maintenance engineer comes back and tells me he wants to work for me to barter for my work to consult with him. No, I'm going to get another $1,000, $1,500 worth of work on a piano done and just share some of my tips for recording with this fella. This guy is a master level piano technician. This is the guy who tunes Elton John when he comes to town. Or Billy Joel. This is who they call. We're working on it, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blast through there that loud. We're working on it, buddy. I think the Kaz is going to pull through on us. And this was a great chance for everybody to see what happens when I get put between a rock and a hard place. I make diamonds. Feel like Rocky's coach. Remember Mick from Rocky? You're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder. Diamonds are forever. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for everything that you've done to lift me up this evening. This last one is for Golden Hour. I'm going to play one more. This one comes from me to all of you, and I mean every one of you. If you are someone in this chat room that thinks, oh, he's talking to the people that really donate the big patronage now. No, I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking to you. If you're a person that only happens to be in here and you only stop in once in a while, you're still important. Okay, everybody is important here. And this song is for you. With all my heart. am a gypsy. Oh, don't cry. There's no story ending here. Thank you, Joyce. Charlotte, don't fight back, fight forward. That might be the most 5 powerful words you've ever said. You've said some powerful things here. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Wonderful, wonderful way to end the night. Yes, Lisa, thank you so much for being here. Jennifer, don't worry. We've got lots more D'ing around to do. Conita, there you are. You've been here this whole time. Nice to see you, Connie. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for saying hello. If you said hello earlier and I missed it, I'm sorry. That's another thing I'd like to remind you all that I'm looking at a small window here, and right here is kind of where my eyes go on these comments. And literally that's only the last 10 to 20 comments, and I can scroll up a little bit, but as you can see, the list bumps around. All this is to say, there's going to be times when I miss people. There's going to be times when I don't say your name. But as much as that bothers me that I can't get everyone, I want you to always remember that every one of you is important. When some of you are not here for a few days, I notice. And then you notice I reach out to you to see how you're doing. It's because I care about you, you know. And when I invite you to join my email list, it's because, you know, I care to know who you are. I care to be able to let you know that here is where we will be, or there is where we will go, you know, together. So please join that email list so you can stay informed now more than ever before. It's hyper important, you know. Hall says, thank you, Jay. So thank you. Don Marie says, gluten-free mama, are you still up? I think she should be asleep. I got one eye open. Oh, Andrea. Thank you for being here. Ciao, Bella. Thank you for all your wonderful ideas tonight. Steve says, she says to Steve, I'm going to sleep. Okay, we're all getting ready to relax. Everything's going to be all right, guys. I'm sure we'll hear some good news in the morning. Andrea, I'll be calling you in 30 seconds here. Jeff Foster, it always makes my day to see you. I've always admired you over the years. You're a great human being. You're an amazing artist. You know, you're I guess one of the pillars in the new age music community there, you know, and I think of the people that have worked to hold that community together. You're on a very short list of people who have really done above and beyond what the normal, I think, dedication to that genre and that community is. And I know there's been times when it hasn't been all that fair to you. Even though you are enormously successful in it, you are challenged, just as we all are, to overcome these things. You know, I remember a time when Jeff Oster showed up to perform with me in Florida for the New Standard, a show I had put together, and boy, there was trouble. There was trouble. And you know what? 5 of us came together to do that show. And I took, you know, like, I don't want to compare myself to a soldier, but the analogy here is that I took a shot. I took a pretty wicked shot, a couple of them. And it looked like that show might not go on. And you know what happened? This guy, Jeff Oster, and 3 or 4 of our other friends, Jonah Kim and Jimmy Kokinis, came across enemy lines and showed up and said, no. On your feet. On your feet. And when I sat in a room and looking at the ceiling like, Jeff, I don't know what I'm going to do. He said, what you're going to do is one thing at a time. One. Do one thing at a time and move on to the next one. Now, that probably didn't seem like such a big moment to you, Jeff, but it sure was to me, and I love you for it. And I always will. I want you to know that. So. And I love my Golden Hour fans. People still talk about it. It was an incredible show. It was an incredible. Good night, Jace. Breathe. We got this. Good night, Don. Good night, Charlotte. Mimic Man, have a wonderful night, everyone. Everybody have a great night. Thank you all so much. I'm going to go ahead and get on the couch with Hanky, my golden, and I will keep you informed as to what I hear as soon as I hear it. Andrea, I'm calling you now. Good night, everyone, and thank you for the love, and thank you for your protection, and I offer you mine in return. Good night.